Have you ever found yourself walking down the street and notice a pregnant woman on the sidewalk, and then in your internal mind you just wish you could scream out and say, "God, what in the hell?" But of course, those of us who are adults and spend enough time in society and understanding humans, we know that at least 90% of the time what is growing inside of that woman's stomach is going to be a baby. And for about 10% of the time, women specifically like to hide snacks there and don't tell the other men. Now, of course, if I screamed in public like what the hell was inside of that woman's stomach, everybody would look at me like I'm the weird one. But if you watch the movie The Fetus, you would completely understand my perfect reaction to exactly figuring out and screaming what the hell is inside that woman's vagina. Because if there was any fantastic form of birth control other than going to a random Walgreens at 3 o'clock in the morning, it is watching this movie. Very accurately called The Fetus. This movie was directed and written by Joe Lamb, and it also stars Lauren Rivera and Bill Moseley. And if you don't know who those two people are, they're very big people in the horror world. I mean, they're practically legends at this point, especially Bill Moseley. And Lauren Rivera is having an amazingly awesome career in the horror world, and I wish her absolutely nothing but the best, because she's a great actress. And I love the fact that both of these actors still want to be in movies like this. What are movies like this? Well, let me just put on my reading glasses for this to explain it to you. There are a handful of movies out there that are so unbelievably bad that they are absolutely the most incredible watches of your entire life. Now, most of these movies fall into the category of horror. They don't necessarily have to. In fact, the greatest example of all time is the live-action Cat in the Hat movie. And do not come at me with that masterpiece, because it's a masterpiece. Dirty hoe. But my point to all this when I'm making my review is that yes, I am thinking and saying that this is like such an awesome movie, because in its own way it absolutely is. But don't get me wrong, I'm saying it is a fun movie, but that doesn't mean it's on the same level as like The Wizard of Oz. That's not what we're here for. We're here for fetuses. So let's keep it that way. So without any further delay or ado, let's talk about The Fetus. No, that was way too elegant. It needs to match more of the tone, really, with the intro. It's more like... That was better. A woman named Alyssa, played by Lauren Rivera, is having the most amazing, awesome date with her boyfriend, item, couple, thing, whatever you want to call him, but his name is Chris, who is played by Julian Curtis. And if there was one thing that you could do to your significant other on a very nice romantic night... Oh, they're bumping uglies. Yeah. But unfortunately, their condom breaks. And one of the main reasons it breaks is because it wasn't specifically the one that you could actually buy on the Fetus Film website that you can use for any which way you possibly want to. Now, as Alyssa is getting the pregnancy diagnosis from her lady doctor, which I don't know the name of, please don't at me. Obviously, I don't have a PhD in all of... She gets the grand old news that she is pregnant, and she takes it very well. In fact, so well that she absolutely is super ridiculously pissed at Chris. And vividly explains in absolutely no detail whatsoever why she is absolutely terrified of getting pregnant. Because her dad, played by Bill Moseley, basically forbids it. Like, it's a family curse or something like that. And it doesn't take long for the audience, specifically me in this case, to figure out exactly why she should not absolutely under any circumstances ever become pregnant. And that is because of the fetus. Yeah, this thing is almost like a flesh-like snake that literally slithers out of the meat curtains that unfortunately has to feed on people. Yeah, there are many instances in this movie where the fetus actually like just kind of jumps out like a freaking rattlesnake and has to devour whatever it's attached to. Now, there's a long-standing trope in horror movies where if you were to place yourself in a horror movie, you would be like, I would obviously survive. I wouldn't go in the creepy closet or the haunted cabin. I would not run in a straight line from a collapsing spaceship like in the movie Prometheus. But in this case, I feel like most people would absolutely get got by this thing. For instance, there's one specific scene where Lauren Rivera is like laying down by a tree and this dude like pulls up on the road and obviously notices this pregnant lady just laying there completely knocked out unconscious and under a tree. And I know there's not really much hope for humanity left in the world, but obviously I would think somebody would be like, hey, I would probably need to help that person, especially if they were unconscious and a lady and pregnant. And this dude gets got in the most freaking crazy way possible that honestly, If I was in the dude's scenario, I probably would have got too. Look, I already wasn't prepared for what would happen after getting married with the female anatomy, but I really hope that this isn't the case when I ever have a kid, because that dude gets Mick snatched out of nowhere. Now, the couple does make it to the cabin, and they do get an explanation of everything that is going on under there. And obviously I don't want to spoil the entire thing. You got to find it out yourself, because obviously you need to, if you are this far in the video now, you just need to go watch the movie The Fetus, which you can find out more information about how and where to watch The Fetus on thefetusfilm.com, where you can also buy your Fetus film condoms. Now, it's pretty obvious, maybe I would say probably from the start, this thing is demonic. It kind of has to be with a movie that's titled The Fetus, right? So the way that they try to stop it, I'm not really going to go into. But let me just say this, the last 10 minutes of this movie are weird. And yeah, I'm saying it's weird for a movie called The Fetus. It's weird. And I would say where most of the movie kind of loses me, because it is a lot. There is a lot of things going on in the last 10 minutes of the movie. And even if I did want to spoil it, I don't really even know where to begin with my explanations. So I'm just not going to. But especially with the positives of this movie, the practical effects of The Fetus, wow, I like it a lot. Now, believe me when I say, even though it might be hard to believe, not a lot of people are probably going to like this movie. But in all reality, this movie is not specifically for you. It's for the people who cannot physically decide whether to watch Halloween 3 Season of the Witch or Terrifier 2 specifically on VHS. Aw. And yes, I did get a haircut after making this portion of the video, so thank you for noticing. Those are the people that are going to like the movie the most, or like how bad it is that they're going to enjoy it. Yes. It's obviously one of those movies where you find a little switch in the back of your head, you flick it off, and then you just regurgitate the content. Don't think about your struggles or worries or cares in the world, and just enjoy an hour and 24-minute long movie about a flesh-like snake called the fetus that comes out of a woman's vagina. And if you go into the movie with that mindset, you're probably going to enjoy it. So there you go. That's my review. Thank you for clicking, watching, liking, and subscribing to my content and channel. You can find me off of Instagram. You can find me mostly off of TikTok. But if you've got a movie in your little eye socket brain hole that you think I absolutely need to watch and take a look at with this style and feel of a movie that's like called The Fetus, then please let me know in the comments below.